So today we're going to start with learning a little bit about how to get into Scratch. Scratch is a program that is used to develop other programs. So it's fairly simple, but there's a few things we need to go over first to get you started. So the first thing is, how do you get into Scratch? Well, what you'll want to do is open up a browser, and I'm going to use Google Chrome, and you'll want to go to scratch.mit.edu. And I've already set up an account. You can set up your own account, or you can use mine if you'd like. You just have to let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to create here. Okay, so what I want to do is create something from scratch. Okay, so and this is the window that you get when you open up Scratch. Fairly uh, confusing at first. So across the top here we have a number of options here that we can use. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a title in for this particular program. I'm just going to call it practice. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is go over some of the features here. Over on the left hand side you have various programming blocks that you can use. This one happens to be motion is selected. Okay, there's looks, sound, events, control, sensing, operators, variables, my blocks. Okay, this over here is a sprite. That's the thing that we're going to actually animate. So you have various windows here. So not to bore you too much, what I'm going to do is actually I want to cause this sprite to move. Now the sprite is located in the center of the screen. I can move it around by holding my mouse cursor on it and so on. So I'm just going to move him. Oh, let's move him right over here in this corner. And what I want him to do is I want him to go over here and then go up. So let's see if we can do that. And we're going to select motion, which is we've got selected here, and it says move 10 steps. Now notice the sprite, this cat, is already facing this direction. But I don't want it to move 10 steps. I want it to move 100 steps. Okay, so I'm going to put 100 in there. I'm just going to drag this over here. And then if I click it, notice what happens. It actually moves. So if I click it, okay, so it looks like I need to move it about 300 steps. So I'm going to change this to 300. Okay, there's 300 steps. And if I click it, there you go. Okay, that's better. Okay, moved over across the screen. Now, what I want him to do is I want him to move up here. Okay, so what do? I've got to make him turn. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make him turn um, 90 degrees. Let's see if that does it. Let's do 90. Okay, and if I click it, let's take him back over here. And if I click it, oh, look, he turned. But he turned the wrong way. So let's make this, maybe let's make it 180. Okay, now I got to get him back to where he was. And if you look at this little window down here, you can actually make him change. So what I want him to do is I still want him to be back in this direction here. Okay, I'm going to put him back over here. Let's try it now once. Oh, 180 didn't do it either. So must be we got to add another 90 to it. Let's make this 270. Okay, now we're going to make them back over here. Actually, let's look at see what it says. Ah, looks like it says it has to be 0. Ah, that's my problem. So let's make this 0. Okay, now let's go back over here and we'll click this. Turn 0 degrees. Okay, so that didn't work either. So let's do minus 90. Minus 90. Okay, I think we got it now. Now we know which direction to face him. So let's make this 0. How about 90? There we go. Okay, so he's pointing the right direction to start. We click on this. Ah, now he's pointing the right direction. Now what we've got to move another, let's make it 200 steps. Okay, now I can duplicate this block by right clicking on it and click duplicate. Actually, it duplicated the whole thing, so which will help with understanding how to edit this thing. If I don't want this block to turn, I'm just going to take this and drag it over here. So now I've just got 3 blocks. Let's get our sprite back. Okay, and we want him to face this direction. Okay, now let's click it, and bingo. Okay, now see, he went a little bit too far. We want to make that, we'll just make that 200 steps instead of 300. So let's make this 200, and we'll bring him back down over here, and then we'll tell him to start. There we go. Okay, now the the thing about it is that he went pretty fast, so we could put a loop in here to make him go slower, but we won't do that for this first time out. I just want to give you an idea of some things that you can do with this. So one of the things we will do is we will use in the events section here, if I drag this over to the top here, so now, okay, I'm going to put this guy back here. Okay, now when I click this flag right here, okay, it starts automatically. So that's one way to start it. So there's our first little program. So give it a try, see if you can do this.